but we're talking about one skillet meals, stuff that you can throw together after school, after a long day of work, throw it together quickly, only have one big pan to clean. But a lot of us don't have a big pan to put on our cooktop, and you know, you need a big skillet. But I bet you have one of these. I bet you got one of these for a gift. I know I have one.
Right, right.
The old electric skillet.
There's nothing wrong with the old electric skillet. It still does great things.
It does, it does. So go find it. It's up in the kitchen or in the laundry room somewhere. And what's nice about electric skillet is that they're huge.
Right.
So you can make a big batch, get dinner done quickly.
Right.
This one's non-stick, you know.
It's that one dish here.
Yeah, one dish. Absolutely. So if you don't have a big stove top pan, like I say, either invest in an electric skillet, you'll use it all the time, or find the one you already have, or pick one up at a yard sale, something like that.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Virginia Haslett's from the Beef Council, and we're making another delicious dish, one of my family favorites.
Right, this is one of the comfort foods, you know, and there are a lot of recipes out there, Amy, for making beef stroganoff, and yet, you know, we all have our favorite. The one I'm showing you today is one that I've made for my family for years, so it's kind of like one of my favorites that always have gone together in a hurry. I chose to do this with a beef sirloin, a top sirloin. Now, sometimes when we go to the supermarket, you can find beef stir-fry strips already, you know, ready, and the meat cutter has done it for you.
Right.
And usually they're a pretty good buy if you're really in a hurry. But you can also make your own. Sometimes it's a little... it saves you some money if you do it yourself. And the idea is, and I kind of like doing my own because then when I cut them, I make them particularly thin.
Perfect, and you can get rid of any of the fat, and I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I kind of like doing it that way.
It is great and convenient that they're already sliced up, but I really choose to slice it up myself. I know exactly what I'm getting that way.
Right,
you know?
and sometimes, as I said, they're a little thick at the supermarket, and I think for this dish, you like them when they're done.
And they're more tender, and they're done quick.
They're done more thin.
Now, show everybody this tip, because I've been doing this for years, and I think it really helps.
Right. Just before here, I just stuck this in the freezer for a short time, just enough to make it just a little stiff, so to speak. So, and then what happens, Amy, is that it's so much easier to cut through it then, and to get the thin slices that you like to get, because it's just, it doesn't kind of wiggle around, you know, and give you dreams. So anyway, Amy, I think we're ready to start.
Sounds good.
I've got some olive oil in this pan.
Real hot pan, right?
Hot pan, and it takes about, a couple tablespoons to go in.
Okay, we got that heat
And then we're ready to go, right? And probably about a medium heat is best. And that's probably on your electric skillet. It's about 350.
Okay.
So that would be that'll be real good.
Should we go ahead and start
that
adding in there?
I'm just gonna toss it in. And you can stir
so good. My grandmother, this was one of her signature dishes, beef stroganoff. I just grew up with it, and you know, a lot of times she'd use beef tenderloin and, you know, some of the expensive cuts of meat. But we're all watching it these days, and I agree, Virginia. If you slice up the sirloin real thin, it'll be nice and tender, and you know, a lot less expensive.
You'll be real happy with it.
But if you're doing a full beef tenderloin and you've got those ends, this is a great thing to use those ends for.
Absolutely, because we all like to make the little fillets that we can, you know, pop out on the grill. Or, as I said, just for making at home in the little frying pan with plenty of mushrooms, and life is good. Now, Amy's going to cut up some onion.
You bet. You want these in strips or little chunks, or how? Does it matter?
It won't matter. Sometimes I just do strips because I kind of like the onion flavor.
Chunky,
the little chunky.
That's what my grandmother did. We had little strips in there.
Absolutely.
So
now, and then, of course, because we love the flavor of onion and garlic with beef, I've got some garlic cloves over here, and so I'm just smashing those up here.
Can I throw these in here with
You can throw them in, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's good. And I'm just chopping up some garlic here.
Beef stroganoff sounds like a fancy kind of thing, but really, don't be intimidated by the names of some of these recipes.
Not at all. Not at all. Now, there are some recipes out there. We're using a beef steak, of course, or stir-fry strips, but you know what? There are also recipes out there for using ground beef.
Oh, okay,
to make stroganoff with a ground beef, too.
Basically the same method. You're going to brown up the beef, and my favorite part of stroganoff is the mushrooms. And I see you've got some beautiful, these baby bellas.
Yes, yes, they're gorgeous. And I like using fresh mushrooms in it, but you know what? Depending upon what you've got available, a lot of us keep canned mushrooms in our pantries, And so we could use canned mushrooms as well in this one, but I just cut it. Now I'm adding a couple of cloves, and I just did an extra one because I like the garlic with the beef.
Smells so good.
So I'm sprinkling in probably 3 cloves of garlic here.
And I've got these gorgeous mushrooms.
And she's got her mushrooms. She's working on those.
Button mushrooms work fine too, whatever.
Sure.
It's all going to be good.
It's all going to be good. Oh, wonderful.
Smells so good. This is just, I have, right through these smells, I have memories. Yeah.
Isn't it interesting that foods do that to us?
It really is.
And that's something that our children will remember as well, as we talked earlier about the importance of getting kids into the kitchen with you. It's just really, really, it's really important today that we do that.
Pass on those family recipes, otherwise, if you don't, they might disappear, and you wouldn't want that.
Absolutely,
you know?
Absolutely. We have some of those issues in our own family now that we've lost some of our grandmas and our great aunts, and my cousins and I get together and say, "Oh, do you remember what happened to that rhubarb pie recipe?"
Sure.
And we have to, think back and go looking for it.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to get them to write it down, but maybe they can, talk you through it, and then you can write it down.
Well, I have my kids call all the time, and they'll say, "Oh, Mom, the Stroganoff recipe," and I keep saying, "I've given it to you. I've written it on cards for you girls. Look it up." "Oh no, Mom, just email me. Email me quick how to do that one."
This is looking perfect. So we're basically
looking good.
Getting that steak done. Now tell me about the sauce.
Okay, now this sauce is really not difficult to put together either. And what we do is, it's got about a cup of course, good sour cream. Gotta have some good cream. Good Wisconsin cream, right? And then, of course, the convenience of this one too is then using cream of mushroom soup. And we've all used cream of mushroom soup as the basis for a lot of our sauces.
Stretch the sauce, get that mushroom flavor in there.
Absolutely. And again, this one is 25% less sodium, and if that's an issue, you want to look ahead to find that. And then what we're going to do is add about 2 tablespoons of ketchup.
When I saw that in your ingredients list right away, Virginia, my grandmother did the same thing, that or tomato paste. And it sounds really weird, but it's just enough to kind of richen up that sauce.
Oh yeah, just a hair. And then we get a splash of that sauce. You know Worcestershire sauce?
Yes.
And we stir that all together.
Yeah.
Let's see, I think you did give me a whisk. So after this is pretty well stirred together, our beef looks wonderful.
It does.
It looks done enough. It looks like it's not too done. You don't want to cook it too long because then the little strips will get tough on you.
This looks absolutely perfect.
I think we're absolutely perfect. And what we're going to do then is just add the sauce. Right, add the sauce and stir it around. All right. Oh, wonderful.
So good.
Wonderful. And then what you would want to do with this one, of course, and I know we're at one dish meals, but this could be served over mashed potatoes, it could be served over rice, but I've chosen to do noodles because I think that's the traditional way. And then actually, I think it's in the ethnic part, but you could sprinkle them with a little butter and poppy seeds.
Butter, my grandmother did the butter.
Right.
I hadn't heard of the poppy seeds, but I like that for a little something.
Just a little zest, and the flavor kind of blends itself well. The kids will tease you, and they'll say, what's in this? And this is good, and then we're just going to serve this, of course.
And I see some green onions. Are these for garnish on top?
Sure,
a little bit of sliced onion? Okay.
Absolutely. And this dish is wonderful then served with fresh asparagus, green beans.
Yum.
And there
it's
you
absolutely
go.
delicious. Virginia, thanks so much. Oh, you're making me think of my grandma. If you'd like the recipe for this, really, One Skillet Recipes. You can find all the recipes on our website. And you can also call the Beef Council, the number
1-800-728-2333.
And they'll send the recipes right out there to you.
We sure will, and enjoy my great Stroganoff recipe.
I can't wait to find a fork. Thanks so much.